Super Dave here with another exciting review, and today on episode 11 of figures, play sets, and accessories that will work well with MOTU Classics, we're going to look at two action figures, one on the bad guy's side and one on the good guy's side. So let's start over here with Snake Mountain and look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Lord Zedd. Now, if he doesn't look like somebody that would get along well with Skeletor, I don't know who would. So I'm adopting him officially. Forget about Power Rangers. Now, if he's your thing, you'll enjoy this review too, if you're into Power Rangers. But if not, if you're a MOTU Classics dude, you will like this figure. He is awesome, and he's now being repackaged. You can find it in some GameStops with a 2-pack with some woman, and I don't know her, but he just like this, and then this woman that he's packaged with. But I was able to get a hold of this guy pretty early on at Walmart, and I think he's an awesome figure at a good value with lots of articulation and all those pipes, like energy pipes, and the bones, and just the exoskeleton, and just the look of evil, and then his weapons. Let's check him out. But also, we're going to be looking today at a good guy over here on the good guy's side at Castle Grayskull, or outside of Castle Grayskull over here in Eternia. We have the Mythic Legion action figure Atlas, the legend. That's right. This guy also screams MOTU. Matter of fact, they did kind of a He-Man-like edition of this guy a number of years ago. Missed out on him. Didn't have the metal arm and didn't have the skull, and the armor here just had like a power sword type thing, and had him kind of decked out like He-Man with the fuzzy loincloth and different stuff. Kind of a He-Man version of this, as well as they did kind of there's a picture of it there, as well as a Skeletor version kind of a Mythic Legion character, and there's a picture of him. But this guy is really cool looking. He's got the injured eye with the scar over his brow there, his eyebrow and his eye there, as you can see, and we'll take a closer look when he's out of the package. But he's just menacing. He's got that huge axe and some other accessories. He's just looking awesome with that metal arm. It's almost like that arm is his own armor there, shield. His arm is his shield there. He's got a gauntlet and a bare arm on the other side. But let's check out this Atlas figure also in just a moment. But first, we're going to head back over and look at Lord Zedd.
It's Lord Zedd.
And there he is. And I must say, this guy is even cooler than what I imagined. I mean, this exoskeleton with the pipes. Now, in my imagination, I'm thinking, okay, this guy needs to be energized by a power source. He can't be too far away from energy. So he has to draw from energy that's around him, whether it's the powers of other, or from the sun, or from some energy core, or by touching others. Maybe like He-Man, touching He-Man would give him a huge jolt. And maybe, Evil Lyn has to continue to feed him energy. He's got this awesome like energy that just wraps around the Z that signifies Lord Zedd. He is a character from another dimension that allies with Skeletor and the minions to try to defeat the Masters. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm seeing when I look at this guy. He's going to be a standalone. He's not going to be one of Skeletor's minions, but he's going to be like a standalone character, a major character villain that could debut or guest star in an episode, possibly maybe not even in Skeletor's era. Maybe he'll be an enemy that will show up even in King Grayskull's area in my Masters of the Universe the stories. But this guy's really cool. I mean, let's check out his accessories first of all. So Lord Zedd comes with this really cool staff that has a spear on one end and the letter Z on the other, which is really nicely done, almost like a silver, not quite a metallic, little cheaper plastic than that, but just still has a nice reflective glare like a silver finish on it. So that's really nice with some blades on that spear at the end. So this is a really nice staff weapon that he has. But what's the really added feature is this red lightning type energy effect that comes with it, so that you can kind of wrap it around that Z like is shown on the box, to give it like that energy effect, like it's just charging up there. And you can really shape that and put it on there however you would like, but it kind of looks good from any angle, and it will certainly wrap around there. It could wrap around his arm, could wrap around, you know, any place, but it looks perfect on the Z. So that, you know, could kind of signify him getting his charge that he needs. And of course, all those pipes that run along his body that feed that charge throughout his limbs. So that makes sense to me. Now, I don't know, you know, what the actual character does in the cartoon, because again, I'm not a Power Ranger person. Do not follow that. But this, to me, is just a great idea for the Masters of the Universe. I see him as a guest star villain in you know, Eternia, or in Despondos, or in Preternia, or wherever, you know, the universe may take us in MOTU. Really cool accessory. And then Lord Zedd comes with this neat looking little grenade type ball thing. It's got like a ball with a ball on top of the ball, and it just looks like a grenade to me. And he holds this perfectly in his left hand. He has a gripping left hand there that allows him to hold this perfectly, as you see there. He grips it and holds it perfectly in those indentions, and it's not coming out. It's not going anywhere. Really, really cool. Along with Lord Zedd's gripping hand to hold the staff, and then this clutching hand to hold the grenade, he also comes with a fisted hand, a balled up fist, an angry fist, which he can use, so that's really neat. Since he has a left hand that is a clutching hand, he also comes with a right clutching hand, so he could also hold that ball grenade thing in this hand, but it's also closed enough, I think he could even hold the staff in this hand, I believe. Let's check it out and see. Yes, with that other clenching right hand, he can hold the staff or the ball, so that works really handy. You could use that in both. And the balled up fist is actually a left-handed fist, so that will plug into his left hand. That piping goes along through his rib cage exoskeleton, down into around his knee, and down into his boots here, into these nodules. So it's almost like these are conduits. These are touch points where the energy hits and is able to make contact to send it to every joint and every part of his body, which goes along with the idea of him being able to drain energy from other heroes, or from other power sources, or maybe from the Star Sea even. Okay, let's get Procrustes out here, correct? And notice the Z that comes off of the crown on his head as well. So Lord Zedd, he's got a crown, which makes sense, and it's got a Z on it, similar to his staff. But also check out, very detailed there, along his cranium there, the top of his head, you can see his brain. That's right, you can see his brain, which to me would partner this guy very well with the likes of, that's right, Marvel leader. This leader who is a very brainy, smart, huge-brained brainiac of a scientist who can help Skeletor or Horde, the Horde, Hordak, Horde Prime, whoever, to mastermind scientific phenomenal. Maybe the leader here from another dimension as well can partner up with Lord Zedd, and they can figure out some scientific creations, and maybe he even helped create Lord Zedd, or gave him this exoskeleton, or designed it for him, maybe even helped him power it, helps him continue to keep provided with power so that he can conquer whatever evil he has in store for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Yeah, I think these two go really good together. Very cool. I like it. I mean, the whole idea of the brain being seen on top of Lord Zedd, that's kind of what gave me the idea of this guy partnering well with him. He's still trying to figure him out though. He's getting all charged up. Wow, so amazing. This guy is really cool. Let's look at his articulation. First of all, looking at his head, he's able to look up about that much. He's able to look down all the way, which is really nice. He's of course able to look side to side, and he is able to get some head pivot there as well, which is nice. Get some good head pivot. I like this face, this head sculpt. It's really kind of neat. Again, I'm not familiar with his main character on this villain in the Mighty Morphing Lightning series of Power Rangers, but he's just really cool. He's even got this like spine skull part coming up into this crown, which is amazing. Like I said, an exoskeleton. It just looks almost like you're only seeing this figure's muscle fiber. See the lines like in his back? It's like all you're seeing is his muscle fibers. That's not hair. It's like that's just the pure, just raw muscle throughout his body with like an exoskeleton. That's the only way I know how to describe it, but that's just really cool. Looking at his arms here, he has a butterfly joints, which will go forward about that much. Allows him to cross over his chest some there. Getting caught on his exoskeleton. Let's see if we can go a little bit better. There we go. Kind of goes across there a little better that way. He can go across there with that butterfly joint pretty good. He can go back pretty well with that, and it you know, even looks pretty decent. Looks pretty natural. You can see how far back it goes there. So you can see that butterfly joint part right there as well going into his back. So pretty seamless. I like the way it's hidden. I mean, it breaks up well. I think he's got, of course, bicep swivel there, and he also has double jointed elbows, which gets a little better than 90 degrees there, and that piping doesn't really interfere. It's there. You have to kind of make sure your hands don't get tangled up in it, but doesn't really interfere with the articulation much here, it doesn't seem. So I mean, he's able to go well over, going up with his arm, his shoulders, able to get very good range. Of course, he has swivel and hinge at the wrists. Would have liked one of these pairs of hands to have come with a horizontal wrist, but they've just really started doing that very recent as far as giving any action figures that kind of, like your G.I. Joes are getting it, and some Marvel Legends are beginning to get that. But this side has the same thing, butterfly joint here with good range. He's got that gripping claw there. You can see those kind of almost like claw-like fingers. Not really human looking, it's more almost animal looking claws. You can see that again, that blue piping, translucent piping that's coming throughout his body. Now here's where it gets interesting in the diaphragm joint. I mean, this is just phenomenal. Check this out. I love this. I mean, he gets perfect. Look how it goes that way, it goes that way. He can bend back about that far. He can bend forward that far. I mean, just really nice, you know, ability there with that ball joint. That's the kind I like, right under the rib cage. It's well hidden. It's almost seamless. You can't really tell it. But check this out. He also has another hinge with an ab crunch. So he's able to crunch forward that far with that, and able to crunch back that far with that. So talk about articulation. This guy has as good articulation as the newer Spider-Man that we got with the retro Spider-Man. So just really cool. Now he does not have a waist swivel, but he can swivel at the rib cage there really well. So you don't really miss that. He's going to be able to turn, and look how seamless that looks. It actually looks natural, like the muscles are, you know, in tune with themselves. It just looks really good. I'm very impressed with this guy. Let's move on to the legs. He's able to split almost all the way, not quite all the way, but pretty much all the way. He does have thigh swivel. He can kick out about that far. Not really able to kick back very much. He's got double jointed knees, so he's able to go just about better than 90 degrees there, like that, as you can see. So that's good. No boot cut, but again, he does have the swivel at the leg, as well as up there inside the pelvis a little bit. And these look like, yep, they pop out of these holes right there, so you can kind of pop those back in if they pop out as you're maneuvering him around. Those little lightning points there, or energy points I call them, where those tap in. All right, so he is able to get tiptoes, able to go all the way up. And check out this, he's got excellent rocker joints, excellent rockers. So this guy, as far as articulation, for my money, I'm going to give, for the price point of this guy, I'm giving him a 10 out of 10 for articulation. I love it. I think he does phenomenal with articulation. This is the reason I'm going to give him that high mark, is because of that ball joint and the hinge at the stomach. He's going to be able to get double crunches there, as well as crunch back. All this piping does not get in the way. You can tuck that where you need it. There's enough looseness to that. You're just going to be able to get some excellent poses with this guy, especially using this cool energy scepter staff thing that he comes with. I mean, just going to be really cool. I think this guy's going to go great with the MOTU Classics. And of course, if you're a Power Ranger fan, you're going to love him as a villain for your Power Ranger heroes. Just really cool. Nice. Lord Zedd. So we'll get some pictures of this guy with some other action figures, including Skeletor and some of our other villains that are back here in Snake Mountain.